another foundering car, and today I'm driving the Esseesse Sport Hybrid 1.4 Turbo, and I will talk to you about tuning the ECU of the ABARTH 595C. So this is something that it has not so many benefits, because if you have the Turismo you already have 160 horsepower and you will gain something like 10 or 13 horsepower, something like that. That being said, in reality this is not the case in my opinion. You will gain a lot even with the 160 horsepower ABARTH engine. And why is that? Because of tuning the engine you will gain a lot more horsepower in the lower rev range, so up to 40 there, and also you get the benefit of the increased torque. So 230-ish Newton meter will go into 300 plus Newton meter, which is a big gain in my opinion. And the other thing is that you normally can only access the power during the sport, pressing sport, otherwise you have less horsepower. And then you can tune it that you have the power in both modes, so you have the same horsepower in both modes, which can be beneficial, especially if you want to still have the functionality of the normal display, for example fuel consumption and the other stuff like range, etc. But you do want additional horsepower and torque, then this could be a good thing for you. And still you have the earlier upshifts from the normal mode. So in the MTA, the motorized automatic transmission, so it's a normal manual transmission that is robotized. In the normal mode it shifts up earlier than in the sport mode, so you have that benefit as well. The other thing is, if you look in reality, 160 horsepower is normally not achieved. It's closer than 152. So if you then gain to, for example, 173 horsepower, you still have 21 horsepower gained and about 70 plus Newton meters of torque, which is very big increase in my opinion, the torque especially. And then if you also look at the stats without the sport mode activated, in the regular mode normally, where you are driving most of the time, normally you would have like 140, 135 horsepower, and then the gain towards 173 horsepower is also quite big. You gain then 40 horsepower in normal mode. And then the sport mode, yeah, is less drastic in improvement, but it's also there. So that's my opinion. Also I think this can complete your car. I'm not saying that without it, if you have 160 horsepower, 152 in reality, you are not poor equipped, of course. But with it, you gain especially a lot of torque, and my purpose for the ABARTH is to be extremely drivable and having comfort. Then some additional torque makes it feel like a stronger engine, because it is a stronger engine then. So even if you're not pushing the rev range, you still have the access to the additional torque. And as I mentioned, low down you will gain more horsepower in this setup. And why is that? Because the ABARTH Turismo has an EIE, so a small turbocharger, so it spools up quite rapidly and you get the benefits also to lower rev range. Foundering car, out.